What's up, guys? It's Casey Mitchell here on the Herbstrong cast, and episode 2 for myself of hosting it. Today, we got Andy here, better known as that huge Asian guy on Instagram. What's up, dude?
What's up, man?
Not much, man. So what's going on? How's everything been going?
Good, man. Can't complain.
What's new in Andy's world?
God, what's new? Let's see. So I got Iron Rebel, part owner, got coaching, powerlifting, and then I've kind of been, I just talked to Sawyer about it, starting my brand, working on it more, more hardcore. It's always been just kind of like a side project if I have time, but now it's like I need a website. I need just make it more formal, make it more standardized. So just been kind of busy with that too. So
is it like a clothing supplement?
I mean, I'm
like full on, like you're just starting like a website with everything on it?
Website for sure. Just the main thing I do is coaching and then like my seminars.
Right.
And on the side, I'll start doing some apparel.
Okay.
But as far as supplements, no, I don't want to get into that monster like you have.
It's a nightmare. It's a good nightmare sometimes, but it's a nightmare.
I've been in part of companies. I've been friends with owners, and I just know that like there's a lot to like deal with.
Yeah, it's a tough thing. I'm still learning as we go. But I saw that the whole Iron Rebel thing went down with you doing the part owning and all that. That's fucking huge.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean you've been with them for quite some time now.
Yeah, it's like almost 4 years.
Yeah, so I mean it kind of makes sense, and they've been growing pretty well too.
Yeah, they've been growing, and it feels like the market's saturated, but really there isn't that many like well-known companies.
Yeah, like established and really just.
Yeah, there a lot of them will just come and go. Like, oh, I can make
sleeves and
shirts.
Of course,
they'll come and go.
Yeah, I've seen that. Like, you'll see some people, they try to add it into their whole little thing.
Yeah, but
it's just different.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So yeah, they've definitely built the brand pretty well over there now. You know, it's pretty good what they're doing. It's cool that they brought you on and you're doing that now. That's big shit.
Yeah, it's good, and it lets me, have a bigger role, obviously in that company, but also in powerlifting. It just gives me more avenues to like help grow powerlifting.
Yeah,
too.
absolutely.
And that's like what I really want, because I want powerlifting to be as big as it can.
It's fucking getting huge.
Yeah,
I feel like every day.
But I still just think we're not getting the. Not the respect, but just the popularity that we should deserve.
Yeah.
Just because like the amount of training and effort that we put into is just, I think, is just as much as any other quote unquote professional sport.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's a vigorous fucking sport.
Yeah,
that we do. It's rough.
The amount of physical stress we put on ourselves.
Yeah, physical, mental. I mean, your body's hurting. The injury risk is vicious. Yeah. You know, I mean, at any given point. You know, and. You know, I mean, it's like I literally feel like it's I just don't piss people off, but I've always felt like powerlifting to me is harder than bodybuilding. You know what I mean? Because of just the way you have to train in that sense. You know, bodybuilding has its own, for you guys that are starting to get like, fuck this, bodybuilding has their own type of hardness. Like that diet's real hard and all that. Like it's that hard, but I'm talking about like the physical training part. Let's be real. Like a lot of the bodybuilders nowadays, they don't train like, Ronnie and those fucking guys getting crazy. They're more. They're a little smarter. They're smarter. They want to, longevity. But, so it's a little different.
Yeah, it's like when we go to the gym, we have to squat.
You have
to do these three. Bodybuilders, if they got to tweak this, they feel whatever, they can replace it with 10 different other exercises that still hit the quote unquote body part.
Yeah,
and then they're just mostly doing it for feel, so they could make it light and just slow it down, all these things. So
that's why the Blade has been in goddamn bodybuilding for about 50-something years, and
he doesn't go
ahead, and he doesn't go heavy.
Press. Yeah,
he doesn't, and he looks fucking amazing.
Yeah,
I think he's like 40-something years old.
Yeah,
and that's just what you can do with that bodybuilding. It's just a little
bit
and
then there's a huge part obviously is genetics for it. But
absolutely,
it's just if you're not gifted with like those muscle bellies and all that, it's very hard to like turn pro. No matter how hard you work.
No, absolutely.
It's just a structural thing.
Yeah, I can't fucking. I don't think I got any muscle bellies of any type of sort in my arms. They just don't. But
as for powerlifting, you can control how hard you work and how consistent you are, and you can get better.
Yeah,
no matter what.
I fucking tell that to everybody. I tell that to everybody all the time. The one thing that I like about powerlifting is you don't have to have fucking genetics to do it.
No.
Don't get me wrong. Are there genetic freaks? Yes, and Cohen and fucking guys like that are just, they got it, you know? You always have like those elite athletes that are just blessed, you know? But with like powerlifting, it's like just hard fucking work consistency and like dedication.
Yeah.
And anybody can get fucking strong.
Yeah.
That's what I like about
Yeah, for
powerlifting.
sure.
And I think that's why like powerlifting is growing. Is because like people are starting to realize like, oh fuck, anybody can legitimately get strong and be competitive if they're willing to like sacrifice the time and longevity that
it's
we're
like
trying to do.
It's equal to like what you get on the platform. The progress is equal to how much you put in.
Absolutely.
You know, on your own.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you know, if the genetic freaks, quote unquote, they just have a bigger head start. It doesn't mean Joe Blow can't get there. It's just going to take longer, and it may be harder work, but it's possible.
Yeah, I tell everybody this, man, about like powerlifting. Like, you don't gotta have fucking genetics to do it.
Yeah,
you just gotta do it.
And I think the community overall is way more supportive of each other.
Oh, 100%.
At meets, it's completely different, right? Everyone in the back's helping each other. Everybody respects the grind, no matter what's on the bar, whether it's a girl squatting 225 or someone squatting 800. We all know what it took to get there. And that grind.
Yeah, I love that. That's one thing I love about, like, you know, a lot of people are like, well, what do you feel like is better about powerlifting than bodybuilding? I'm like, dude, the camaraderie is unreal. Yeah, you got your guys, you know, but even like the guys that fucking hate each other, if that dude's going out there and about to break a fucking record, that guy that hates you is right there fucking, fucking get it. You know what I mean? Because like you said, they know how hard it takes to like get to that point, you know, especially when you're breaking like major records and stuff like that. But yeah, and then the whole thing now with the it doesn't matter if you're a new lifter or like an elite lifter. If you're going for something that's your like PR or something like that, man, the rally that people come is fucking crazy. You know, like
because
the hype squad's there.
They also experience the stress, the anxiety, all that fear of the unknown that we get, you know, at the elite level. Yeah, even
I'm
then,
not elite. You're elite.
Shut up. If you deadlift 600 pounds, you're elite. You know, so it's cool that they can experience the same, you know, feelings that we get when we break a PR.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's just
that was like me yesterday. I broke one yesterday, man, and fucking people were hyped, man. You know, hyped, bro. And it was just funny. And then, you know, Mookie, you know, the guy that Pitt's been doing, you know, he's lost 100 pounds in 13 weeks. Dude. And then he was just like, hey, like, is it cool if I get out there? And we're like, fuck yeah, Mookie, get out there and do it, you know? Yeah. And he goes out there and he's only like doing a 405. And he just keeps going though, and you know, and the people are watching. They just start cheering, you know. And he did like 5 reps only, and that's not like realistic to an elite guy. 405, 5 reps ain't shit. Yeah, but it's the point that the grind
to him that's his 800 pounds.
Yeah,
you know?
man, and I loved it. Like, and I was sitting there, and I mean, this, you know, it's just epic shit, you know. And that's one thing that I can really fucking say about powerlifting is, you're right. The camaraderie is crazy, and the support system is pretty wild, and that's why I always try to tell people, like, don't be scared to come lift, like power lift, and don't be scared to get on a platform because, and you know, because like, a matter of fact, yesterday when we were doing this meet and greet, me and Pitbull Torres, you know, it was a thing that we were talking, like, people would ask us, and well, I don't know if I'm not strong enough to get on the platform, and it's like, you're fucking strong enough, period. You got to know where you're at.
You know what I tell them, and this is for any beginner or anyone like just afraid or questioning about getting on the platform or compete, or they're intimidated. There's 80-year-old men and women getting competing. Like, you'll see like a 80-year-old dude or a woman. It doesn't matter. They're deadlifting whatever, pushing whatever. But they're not afraid to get on there. It doesn't matter. Like, you're not judged based on your weight unless you're trying to, you know, win first place, quote unquote. But there's always going to be someone stronger. So you might as well just compete against yourself and then just get on the platform, because then you realize that everyone's going to support you. Everyone's there for you to cheer for you. And it's a self journey with a great community. Yeah. So there's nothing to be intimidated about. Yeah. We're sitting here telling you, go compete. Right. Like, we're not going to just be like, oh God, you're only lifting whatever. It's more like, damn, you did it. Good job. And I'll just build on it. Right. You know? Now you know where you're at. Yeah. And then and then like with that, when you know where you're at, it's going to make you want to fucking work harder to beat those old numbers. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, like, realistically, you know, and I'm sure you can agree, is like most of us powerlifters, like, our greatest moments are our PR moments, man. Because, you know, like Callum just hit like what, 859 or 959. It was like what, a 9 pound, only 9 pound, only PR. 9 pound, only 9 pound all-time PR, and it's like the greatest thing ever. Because well, one, he's fucking freaky at the weight that he lifted, but it was only 9 fucking pounds, but it was like such a huge accomplishment because that 9 pounds probably took him a long fucking time to get to. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, man, like, even if, you know, when you're just starting out,
every little time, those PRs, man, they're just
Yeah.
gonna motivate you more and more.
Yeah.
I mean, I was freaking out yesterday when I did mine. You know what I
You
mean?
forgot it was PR, all-time
And
PR.
I didn't even know it was an all-time PR. I just
Yeah.
thought it was a beltless PR, but it was an all-time PR. When I got done, I was even
Yeah,
more
because
pumped.
nowadays for the elite people, it's hard to get these PRs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they come. They don't
They
come
slow
as
down.
often. Yeah,
they slow down, and that's
Yeah.
what I've been telling myself that too. I'm like, man, I don't know. It's taking forever, and then it just happens.
It just happens.
And
Yeah,
it caught,
yeah,
like,
because
caught
you
me
don't
off
stop.
guard.
You don't stop. You just keep in training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's a good topic that I've been wanting to talk about since we're on the powerlifting.
Yeah.
So if you notice, there's all these federations, right? And this is
Right.
something I think is something that needs to be kind of start to be brought to the powerlifting community's attention.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, the lifters run the fucking show. If there's no fucking lifters, there's no fucking show.
Yeah.
And if you start to piss lifters off, they're just gonna stop coming to your events. And I'm bringing up a topic of these other federations, and what's happening is there's all these different like high squats, low squats. What's high?
Yeah,
What's right? What's wrong? You know, and you got some federations a little bit there's a couple that are a lot more fucking lenient on things, and then you got some that are really fucking strict.
Yeah.
You know, and so I think for powerlifting to get its real recognition to grow eventually, bodybuilding, you know, how you got the IFBB. Then you have the Olympia, and these guys got to qualify and do this, but it's under one federation, the NPC, right? And IFBB, that's the shit, you know. And if you're competing anything else, you don't get to come to the IFBB and the NPC. So, with powerlifting, yeah, you have the USPA and you have this, but when you got other federations that are paying more out to the lifters, like the IFBB does for their guys, the Olympia and the Arnold, etc. But you got these other ones that are you can get in. It don't matter what your quality numbers, you can get in. But you got also records that are being all-time world records that are being broken. And there was a lifter, I won't dime his ass out because he knows who he is, who competes in this bullshit-ass federation, has some of the highest squats I've ever seen,
Right.
and he breaks all-time world records.
Yeah.
And everybody knows it's high, and he knows it's fucking high.
Yeah.
So my thing with that is to get more recognition, to make this more serious, why, since you are you've been doing this for so long, longer than me, and you are around guys with the USPA and stuff like that, why has there never been side-by-side cameras where things can be reviewed? That is something that I have always said that. As a matter of fact, I was talking to Larry Wheels about it in Houston last year, and I brought this idea. I was like, why is there not side-by-side cameras where the squat can be reviewed, or a deadlift can be reviewed, or the bench press, what's his name did the bench press, locked it out but didn't rack it. We all know as lifters, you have to rack it.
Yeah.
You know, and he did it, and they gave it to him, and it's a big controversy. So if you have these cameras set up, these side-by-side cameras that can be reviewed, I feel you're not sitting there putting all this into just the ref's hands, but it's more controlled, and I feel it can make it a lot better to where it's more serious, you know what I mean? It could be
It's more
reviewed.
standardized.
More standardized.
Yeah. So the number one is money, because now everyone has to get those cameras.
Mm-hmm.
So all these meet directors would have to do that, right?
What about just for the big meets, the big money meets, Tribute,
but then people would dodge that meet. They would still continue, just not
because they don't want to be monitored.
They don't want to be called out.
Yeah.
So saying the person,
But that'll make it more elite though. The real motherfuckers are going to show up and lift though.
But that's how we do it anyways.
Yeah.
The majority of us who are at the top will go to the bigger money meets that have standards. Majority of us, because of the standard, or because we want to compete against other top lifters. But there's always going to be these quote unquote elite lifters breaking world records at backyard meets, judged by their friends.
Yeah.
With poor standards. And because powerlifting is allowed, powerlifting as a sport has, like you said, there's a lot of power in the lifters. The lifter, me and you could go start a federation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I think it would start at so back to the camera thing. Like I said, it's just too expensive. Yeah, we could do that, but it would be only one or two meets that actually do it.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's the tribute, but then it's USPA, then the USPA would have to make that a whole thing, So it would have to be an offset, no brand meet. But then you're gonna have what officials are you gonna have? What kind of those officials? What kind of training have they had? What kind of certification? So now you're just getting off on how are we gonna make that standardized?
Mm-hmm.
So
I just feel like it's such like if you like it's such the biggest issue in powerlifting.
it is.
You know?
It is, and I think that's part of why we won't never be legit and be like.
Yeah, and it's
respected
unfortunate because
that,
it's like
you know?
it draws fucking crowds. You know,
Yeah.
like I've been lucky enough to go to Pro Raw
Yeah.
in Australia, and I remember the first year I went, it was pretty badass. You know,
Yeah.
and then the second year I went, it was like this amazing like custom and then just so many people.
Yeah.
And then this last year, right, I was supposed to go, but I got injured. Bodybuilding got moved off the main stage, and powerlifting got put up
it
onto the
was
main
huge. Yeah.
stage.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. And it's just like because people like you get everybody always like people want to come and watch the freaks at bodybuilding. Well, some of these fucking guys that are big freaks are powerlifters now.
Yeah.
I mean, Larry Wills looks like a gnarly ass. Brandon Allen is so fucking big. Not right now, little bitch right now, because he's going through his shit. But the big motherfuckers, man, they come out and they're just monster ass dudes.
Yeah.
And they're not just monster ass dudes that are just big. They're powerful.
Yeah.
And you get to watch them just move crazy amounts of weight around, And that sucks because that's what people want to see.
Yeah.
And it's just like you got these great guys right now. I think we're going through a time where there's some really crazy freaks in our world right now. And they're not getting to be like legitimized like Phil Heath and like those guys that are up on the bodybuilding stage. Like, you got Brandon Allen, who's one of the best powerlifters in the world. Let's be real, right? People don't know. They know Phil Heath, but they don't know Brandon Allen.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this motherfucker, like, do you understand what he lifts? You
Yeah.
know? And I'm just using Brandon as an example.
Yeah,
And it's like you don't know about it. But only us powerlifters kind of know about it.
Right.
But like people that aren't bodybuilding, they know who Phil Heath is.
Yeah, and
Because he's legitimate. Like,
what has he done, quote
Right.
unquote, physically? I mean,
Right.
right.
And that sucks. And that's why when I'm saying that, like, I just wish that I could sit here and like, I always rack my brain about it because I love powerlifting for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
But I love it so much that I would like to see it at a level where it's like these bodybuilders are at, because I feel like it's as hard, honestly, to me, harder to do what it is that these guys are doing.
Yeah.
Compared to that, don't get me wrong, the bodybuilder, it takes them decades to grow that type of physique.
Yeah.
I'm not taking that away from them, but I'm just talking about like the physical type of like strain and bodybuilding. Realistically, you have a little bit longer of a lifetime to bodybuild than a powerlifter. Powerlifters, you're a little bit limited on how long you're gonna be doing it for.
Right, at the highest level. Yeah.
Right.
I think so. So, touching on that, I think bodybuilding got big, and how globally big it is because it has been around longer, I think.
And you had guys like Arnold.
And we had Arnold.
And you had Ronnie.
Yeah.
And
then their NPC IFBB, obviously they've done a great job of promoting it worldwide.
Right.
So I think powerlifting is just in its infancy as far as the raw. It's only been 5 years that it's been growing. So I think it'll grow and grow, but I don't think it'll ever be bodybuilding yet. But I do know that powerlifting is growing, worldwide. I think there's countries that it's still that's a big thing for me. I think China is like a huge market because they can't Asian genetics.
You're allowed to say it. You're allowed to say it.
Are not going to be big, huge bodybuilders.
Yeah.
Okay, they're going to they can be lean, but they're not going to be like these freaks like like the Olympia stage.
Right.
But a sport like powerlifting gives people, because there's weight classes, gives these people who need another hobby besides. I mean, they're huge in basketball. Basketball is huge in China, but half of them 99% of them are not going to be NBA players.
Right.
But it's still growing. It's still huge. So powerlifting could be something like that too, and that could be that in different countries. It's just going to take time. It's going to take people like Larry and you and us to like travel, go to Australia. But now we got to go to other countries.
Yeah.
And just make it more public, more public.
Yeah, I will say that like we got lucky enough to have like a guy like Larry come through.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you can't take it away. The guy's become the most famous powerlifter.
Yeah.
On social media, I mean, the guy is a fucking freak.
Yeah.
And he's doing everything. I mean, strongman, arm wrestling, powerlifting, bodybuilding. I mean, and he's really just touching everything. And he's really touching it out worldwide. And luckily we got that. Hopefully he can continue just to do stay focused. And continue to do what he's doing. And there's times that I wish that I could be in Larry's spot, because sometimes when you're in that spot, you don't realize like what it is that you could possibly do to like
Yeah,
change.
right.
Like Larry could be like the Arnold of powerlifting.
He could.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just, but like you got to stay focused. And Arnold was probably one of the most focused men in bodybuilding to ever come through.
For sure.
You know, we have Ed Cohen.
Yeah.
Ed Cohen is so old school. He's barely, doing social media. And now us powerlifters, we fucking know Ed.
Right.
You got Ed, you got Stan Efferdine, and these
Yeah.
guys, and they're traveling the world and doing it.
Yeah.
But when they travel the world, they hold seminars. Who goes to seminars? Powerlifters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Larry Wheels gets all kinds of different genres of people watching his Instagram.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't get all kinds of different genres of people watching Ed Cohen's. You get
Right.
us motherfuckers that
Right.
are like, know he's the legend.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but
And-
there's people who follow you that don't powerlift
right.
because of your story and just.
And
your-
I always
your
and I
grind.
remember that,
Right.
and that's why I try to push
Yeah.
the whole powerlifting, and I tell myself that,
Yeah.
and that's why I don't really do anything else but powerlift and try to motivate, because I want people to see like, oh, he powerlift, this guy
Yeah,
powerlifted
yeah,
now,
yeah.
I can, if he can do it, I can do it,
Yeah.
and it's like, but Larry's platform is massive,
We're all- obviously, yeah.
and he's just really put it out there, and it's fucking cool, and I just like. I appreciate it because I honestly think he's helped grow powerlifting a lot.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
Larry, if you're listening to this, keep fucking doing it.
Yeah, keep doing it. And
Keep doing your
he's
shit, Larry.
still only 23, 24.
He's a baby boy.
He's still a baby boy.
He is.
He might, if he turns out to be Arnold, like if he gets on a movie or does this or, I don't know, The Rock or whatever, like and I think because he went to strongman, I think that's good because he opened up his audience or his platform to another audience.
Yeah.
But so these strongman quote fans now know powerlifting because of him. So we might get powerlifting fans or lifter or whatever.
Yeah.
People from that crowd. So I think the more he does, the better.
Yeah, absolutely.
For all of that.
He's fucking young. The guy's recovery rate is freaky as well.
Yeah. So we need more Larry Wheels, just not as far as his platform, but just people like you and Pitbull and all these people who do not just the basic. I did a lift. Here's my Instagram post. Here's 10 seconds of a lift. Like it needs to be YouTube and more explanations and seminar. Kind of everything.
Yeah, and I mean that's where I like Steph Cohen.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. I mean, women were coming through.
Yeah.
But Steph Cohen blew the fucking doors off of women powerlifting. Pretty girl, little tiny petite thing, monster.
Exactly.
And then, she's very educated with it. She really got into that recently of just like a lot of educated stuff on the internet.
Yeah.
And I think she really blew the doors open for women to like powerlift. Yeah. Because you meet her, she little thing. Yeah. Little tiny thing. Yeah. And then you watch her and lift and move the weight. I mean, even me as a powerlifter, like when I watch her do what she does, like, we were in the cage with her and you sit there and you watch her like put 500 pounds on her back. Yeah. And it doesn't make fucking sense.
No, it doesn't.
How the body, like how she does it snap in half.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just fucking crazy to see it. And it's like women have got to see that and be like, wow.
Yeah.
Like this chick is literally a fucking strong girl and looks like a girl. Yeah. And that's a good thing because we got a lot of that whole like, well, I don't want to look like that.
Right.
This
exactly.
or that. And it's like powerlifting girls, man, I think they're great looking women. Their bodies are amazing. I'm not into like bodybuilding women that are just diced and shredded.
Yeah, and they're not as vain into their looks.
But they're built.
Too.
Their legs, their glutes, and everything are just built differently. But Steph, man, like it's great to see. Like we're getting that lucky to see like Larry and like the Stephs.
Yeah.
Coming.
So like I said, we just need more people like that.
Yeah. I just think we just need more like legitimate, real like IFBB, NPC, where you got to qualify to go to here, type of thing. Like, but like, and I feel like the USPA is trying. I feel like they're trying, like they're going worldwide now for their big world tournaments and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that's great. It's just, at the end of the day, when you're like a lot of powerlifters, you sit there and you see like the Mr. Olympia one. Fuck, I don't know how much money he won this year, millions.
Like 450.
You know what I mean? And it's just like then you got these guys that are coming out here putting their life through hell too, and you get like really. What's the biggest meet that you can win?
Yeah, I think the current. I think Yuri won 40.
40 grand.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, 40 grand is 40 grand.
40 grand.
But it's like you look at that and you're like, well, Phil Heath got this.
Yeah.
And I literally just won the biggest powerlifting comp in the world, and I got 40 grand.
Yeah.
Against the best powerlifters in the world, and I got 40 grand.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know, maybe it's because we are in the beginning of like powerlifting blowing up, you know. But I just hope that I can see like one day where it's like I'm like taking my kids to like the powerlifting meets. And it's like some fucking
I think it's one of those
monsters,
things
you know?
where like we're probably like one relationship away. Like if like someone, if you became friends with someone from ESPN, or you know, I think it's possible. I think it'll take a lot more responsibility on our end as lifters to do more on Instagram and grow it. Yeah. But I think, you know, there's just the majority of us aren't. The majority of powerlifters, I mean, they're just not that creative. You know, like they're strong, but like it's hard to just be strong and then just grow the sport. Like, you have to do stuff like we talked about,
like Larry,
stuff he does,
doing a weird shit.
Yeah. Not weird shit,
not weird shit, but like reps, like 600-pound deadlifts for like.
No, I mean like also like doing collabs and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course,
with different, you know, you have to put in the work on that and kind of expand your audience.
Well, you got to think bodybuilders. That's what they used to do. You used to get like these four fucking elite bodybuilders that compete against each other in a gym together, and they'd fucking go to town. Yeah. You know, there's still videos like that I watch that are, you know, all those motherfuckers just in there getting it, you know, and I think that powerlifting you're right. Need to get together.
Because you saw with Nick Best and the Strongman, they got picked. They got it was on the History Channel. Yeah, like
it blew them up, man.
And there's regular people, families at home watching them. It's fun. It's entertaining.
And it's funny that you say that because no joke, I was with Brian Shaw in Colorado for like a little event that me and him have done the last 2 years together, and we were literally in Vail, Colorado for this event, and we were in a burger spot. And as we walked out of the burger spot, these little kids knew who he was, and the parents knew who he was, not off of Strongman. Right. I mean, they know now. Right. But they were like, oh my God, we saw you on the History Channel. You're Brian Shaw. And I was like, that's fucking cool right there. Yeah. Like, that is what, like, I mean, and you can see, like, you know, I watch people's social media. I can see it. And Brian Shaw's social media blew.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, you're on fucking national TV. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, it's fucking great, man. Yeah. It was really fucking cool to see that. And I even told him, and I was like, dude, that's badass. You know? And I was like, dude.
So what I'm saying, we're like one connection away from, like, blowing it up.
Yeah. Or one really rich, smart motherfucker that wants to like start a federation and make it legitimate as fuck. Yeah, like, with cameras and like, here's where we're doing it. You know, cause the USPA, they just do 1 billion meets like all over. You know what I mean? And so does the NPC. So does NPC. And they have the judges, just like we have our judges. Yeah. But I think to make like I just want to see like this real elite, freaky federation come through, where it's like. There's not meets all over there's not 7 meets a week in like the state of California. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or something like that. And just, I don't know. Yeah. I think
I think the problem with, not the problem, but with USPA, like, and I mean, it's a business. So they're going to cater to the 99% population of powerlifting because that's the bulk. And then the elites get the short end of the stick. So that's why, like, there aren't many big meets from USPA's platform. Right. You know, and
but the USPA is now doing the tribute, right?
They've always done the tribute, yeah. So the tribute is changed. It changed. Okay. So one of my sponsors, they're taking over the tribute meet, you want to call it, from Pioneer. From Pioneer. Yeah, I saw that. They're calling it the Showdown. Okay, yeah, I saw that. Because the tribute name is sticking with USPA Texas, because that's who ran it. Okay. So they just changed the name for that. Okay. The tribute is now
the Showdown.
The Showdown. Pioneer's not in charge of it, but I'm sure they'll donate and be part of it. So, but that's what like the Open was. That when the US Open the second year, and the money man Russ Kern put up fucking $200,000. Yeah, I remember. That's when like it exploded, but it just fizzled out because obviously you can't do it. You can't just donate $200,000 all the time. Right. So I think part of the problem is the companies associated with powerlifting. They're not. It's hard because you can't just. It's hard to just give money away. Yeah, absolutely. You know, so it's. I don't know. Like, that's it's always comes down to money.
Well, so you gotta. I mean, let's be real. The Olympia is able to fund those guys because of the attendees that come to the Olympia. Yeah. All the stores that show up there, like supplement companies and clothing, everybody that buy the boost to be there. Yeah. You know, and it's just, you know, and so and then like all the NPC and IFBB stuff that's being done all year long. Yeah. You know,
because
kinda health
because
really fun.
the Olympia itself, the expo, it's dying.
It's dying. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
there this year. It was terrible.
Yeah.
It was
So the
terrible.
days of booths are just they're declining because of social media. People can
Yeah.
just you can reach 10,000 people
Right.
from a post versus
Right.
at a booth for a weekend.
Yeah.
You know, so
Well, that's why I feel like there's that expo, the All American Expo in Houston,
Oh,
where
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just, it's. I mean, I guess some people like show up there, but it's mostly like you meet your social media people.
Yeah.
And instead of like going there to buy, like, I mean, if you
not
have
the
like
big companies. It's
right,
the
yeah, you don't have like GAT and those
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
there. You have the social media people there, and that's blowing up because that's where you go there to do.
Yeah.
You know,
That's what people wanna meet, yeah.
They want to meet you. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Yeah, they see you online and all that stuff, but they want to meet you, man.
Yeah.
And that's why if you go to like and
Yeah.
that. You know, that's why they go to those expos and
So what if we did someone set up a big meet, but just like the Olympia, there's like a meet the Olympians.
Yeah.
What if people could come meet the lifters
Yeah.
like 2 days before?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, before they start their water cut.
Yeah, yeah.
And just make it a better overall experience.
Right, because
Yeah.
most of the time the lifters were in the back and they're in the zone, especially big league. Like you ain't
Yeah.
back there talking to these motherfuckers.
Yeah,
And then when
yeah.
they're done, they're
Yeah.
usually taxed, like they're
Yeah.
fucking done.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that would be pretty badass
Yeah.
to be honest, because
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that want to meet people,
Right.
like meet the lifters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you don't really get to do it. And a lot of the people that want to meet the lifters are powerlifters, and they kind of understand what that lifter's going through, so they're not
Yeah.
there like to heckle them.
Right.
You know, but yeah, I think that's cool shit. I
Yeah.
think the Showdown should probably do something like that.
Right.
You know, where you guys get the
And
fucking-
and maybe they
and-
bring in
and
they-
market it and promote it better.
and
That's
then they
what's the
could
thing.
invite like kind of like that All American Expo, like Instagram people who aren't
Right.
necessarily powerlifters,
Right.
but they're fans of powerlifting or they're friends with us.
Yeah, right.
Like Dana and
Yeah,
Rob
yeah.
and stuff like that. That would get just kind of expo slash powerlifting.
Shit,
like
Dana's a
Olympia.
powerlifter. She's powerlifted a couple
Yeah,
times.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
she
saying.
loves it. She loves
yeah,
the sport, yeah.
we just gotta get more. That's the problem. It's not the problem. The solution is like social media.
Mm-hmm. It's
and
gotta push
It's
it.
gotta push it.
Yeah,
And then
absolutely.
it might take a big company like Herbstrong or something to like put up money.
I
and
feel like
get it-
I feel like we know the CEO.
yeah,
You know what I mean? You know?
he would do it.
But I mean, the Herbstrong's got a really big powerlifting, like
right.
group of people,
yeah.
man. You
Yeah.
know, we all use it for pretty much aches and pains, anxiety.
For me,
you
it's
know?
it's the biggest thing is anxiety and sleep.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
which sleep is directly related
from
to
anxiety, yeah.
recovery.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you have anxiety, man, you can't calm it down. Sleep's tough to
Yeah.
get. Even when you go to sleep, your body's not fully like.
Yeah,
it's
I'll
still-
wake up all the time.
Yeah,
too,
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it's been mostly like, just pain.
Yeah.
It helps me with sleep because I'm in pain when I go to sleep.
Right.
So yeah, it'll help me. But one day I was in here and Sawyer was telling me, because I was always using the recovery cream. That was like my thing. You know?
Yeah.
And he's like, man, have you ever like put the actual oil onto the skin? And I was like, no. I was like, what? I was like, don't you put it in your mouth?
Yeah.
He's like, dude, it's stronger.
It's stronger through the skin.
And so what was funny is I did, and I put it on my knee because my knee I was like in a lot of pain after
Yeah.
these squats one night, and I put it all around my knee and all the way around. But what was funny is I got the same effect, like how it calms me down,
Yeah.
as if I put it in my mouth too,
Right.
because it still gets in the bloodstream.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I mean, if you guys are using Herbstrong and you guys have like the recovery drops and stuff like that, put it on the skin for pain.
Yeah.
Works.
Yeah,
It's
well,
crazy.
now you could, or put the drops in the cream and mix it,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
use the cream too.
There you go.
Like, yeah,
it makes it just more like potent.
yeah,
you
it makes
know?
it more
And
potent.
So I was doing that, and that's my thing now.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, I go through the 5,000 milligrams a little faster now, which is expensive, but
is.
but
It
it's good
is.
shit. I love it. Like
Yeah.
I have like 2 bottles of it. One's in my car and one's in my room.
Yeah.
Because like sometimes I'll travel and be like, fuck, I left that shit.
Yeah.
In my room, but it's in my car.
yeah, and then like we're in California, so like weed is legal, right? But
Yeah.
I can't do weed because I'm very sensitive and I get really bad side effects.
Yeah.
And it's just not worth it for me to get those side effects.
Yeah, I'm a huge like believer in like what weed, whatever you guys want to call it, marijuana,
Yeah,
whatever
for sure.
it does. Like
Yeah.
I mean, I know like
Yeah.
what it does. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
And so I'm same with me. I'm not a huge like weed smoker. I like to do it here and there.
Yeah.
You know, but like as far as like sitting there hitting it like all the time, no.
Yeah.
I usually would do it back when I was doing it a lot. Would be like for sleep every
Right.
time before like at
Right
night.
before bed. Yeah.
Just go to sleep, man.
Yeah.
And it would calm me
Yeah.
down. And unfortunately, my dad, he couldn't do that. You know,
Right.
he can't. He has a gnarly spinal surgery, and so I gave him some of the Herbstrong because he works in the oil field, so he can't like have the anything else. So I gave him the Herbstrong stuff, and he just man,
Yeah.
like hits me up all the time to like make sure he got something, you know, because it's helped him out a lot.
Yeah.
You know, but and not just that, like sometimes when I would smoke and go to sleep, like it's just a different type of like sleep. What CBD does compared to like what weed does for me.
Yeah.
It's a completely different type of sleep. Not just that, like smoking. A lot of people don't want to smell. Like
Yeah.
you know, they don't want
Yeah,
that
with the
smell,
cough
that
and all
odor.
that.
Yeah, and they don't. And like some athletes, they just don't. They want to be athletic. They don't want to put stuff.
Or
in
it's
their,
illegal.
Or it's
for
illegal
them.
in some states. You know, so or for other athletes. Yeah, but yeah, that's one thing that I've just noticed. Like, I kind of like it's really weird, man. Like I just when I do the CBD at night, the oil drops. I get like this. I don't want to call it a head change, but it's like a head change. It's like this come down where it's like just chills me out and relaxes me.
Yeah.
And then I just go into this gnarly sleep. And the nights that I don't take it, I can really tell.
Yeah.
You know, my sleep, I toss and turn. I don't get into this, I really will sleep longer than what I want to.
Okay.
But like every time I take it, it calms me down and I get into sleep faster, where I'll usually wake up about 5:36 a.m., an hour before my alarm goes off.
Yeah.
Because I've just slept and I slept good without tossing and turning. Okay. So, I don't know. I've done a lot of cool little things with it.
And then for me, so when I have like big lifts coming, like a big squat or whatever, I get anxiety, right? From like a day or two before. And then if it's like an hour or two before I'm going to the gym, I'm fucking so anxious and I can't relax. And I don't necessarily want to do the drops because it might make me too tired. So that's when I'll do the vape. Yeah. And I just do a few hits just to like get me to like calm down.
Calm down a little bit.
So because I'm just so amped up and anxious about the lift that I can't function. So so I think that is another way I use it. And then just like if for people who can't do weed or whatever, or you can't do it at work, or you can't, but you could do CBD at work,
right? Absolutely.
Or it's a lot quicker. Mm-hmm. It's just a drop and you're done. Yeah.
And it doesn't look as like what I mean.
You could put it in your, or you could put it in your drink
and
just sip on it all day. So just stuff like that.
And I think Herbstrong's got some like cool shit coming out.
Oh, it just came out, the gel caps.
Frickin' A. Yeah. About time, Sawyer.
Because
that's awesome. That was clever.
Yeah, because there is a slight taste to it. Some people don't like it, but I don't mind.
It's like taking vitamins, man.
Yeah.
It's a fucking go buy an animal pack. You've never taken an animal pack before like back in the day. Yeah. Take 10 pills and piss hyper green. You know what I mean? But you taste those things. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like it's herbal. It's vitamins. You're gonna have a little bit of taste to it, but swallow it. Drink it with some orange juice. You're fine.
But now we got the gel caps. Yeah. You can just pop them.
Good to go.
And you're good to go. And I think it's easier to travel with too. And no, I'm sorry. It's easier to dose. Because with a dropper, it's kind of hard to like count. I'm not gonna count 10 drops like one. I'm kind of like, it's about halfway. I'm good. But with the gel caps, you can like monitor or dose it better.
Yeah, accurately. And I feel like it's a little bit classier, I guess, in a way, where people just feel like seeing people take a pill is not than seeing somebody, you know what I mean, or vaping. It's just like for those people that want to keep it low key. I think it's a great like extra thing to have.
For sure.
And traveling, it is easier to travel with pills over liquid form.
Yeah.
Especially airports and stuff like that. You know, glass busting. Like for me, sometimes when I travel, I have to get it and put it into like a Ziploc bag just in case the fucking airport crushes it or something.
Right.
But with the pills, it's just you're good.
Exactly.
So I was. Good job, Sawyer, on that one. The guy's been working on some shit. He's always working on some shit.
He has another thing coming out. Okay. So Casey earlier talked about, putting on his skin directly. Mm-hmm. So they're working in works of doing a transdermal where you can put a patch and it'll just release it straight to your
this fucking guy.
Dude. Like imagine if like your low back hurts. It's really hard to put cream on my low back. Yeah. But fuck, you just stick a patch on me and then just
all day and walk around, good to go.
Dude.
And that's sometimes too because that's smart because sometimes I'll put the oil on and I'm like, fuck, like I don't want to get it on my bed.
Yeah.
It's oil.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck,
Yeah.
But I could put you're telling me I could put a patch on my thing? Just go to You're a clever fucker, Sawyer.
Yeah.
That's why Herbstrong's killing it, man. Yeah, it's thinking outside the box of like everything else of, so that's clever shit, man. So what's next for you, man? You got anything coming up? Comps, marriage, kids?
No.
I don't know. Anything?
So I think even now, like I still have some bad soreness after bigger squats. So if you guys don't know, I tore my adductor and growing in April at the Open. So we're like 6 months out now, or 6 months after. So I don't think I'm healed, but it's still super weak because I tore it. So it's just building back the strength and the endurance. That's what's kind of making me not trying to push training too hard.
Yeah.
So there's days or weeks where I feel great, and then there's other days when and it's not necessarily related to like the amount of weight I do. It's just kind of like a total stress on it. But I think the old me would have pushed it and rushed it and just tried to do a meet at the end of this year. But now that I'm older and smarter and hurting more, I'm gonna wait. I think there's a meet in February. It's a pro-am in Vista, brick by, I don't know, Rick Simmons, Ironmongers. So it's a pro-am, so there's going to be some money in it. And it's local. It's only hour 15 minutes away from me. And it's just kind of like going to be my first meet back just to I haven't done a raw meet, just sleeves meet in over a year. I've done the wrapped. So I just want to get back into raw. And I'm still like really close to Larry's world record. So I don't think I'm quite there yet as far as if I were to compete in the next 6 months to break it. Yep. But so I just want to do this meet just to get back on the platform healthy, do a meet where I do some PRs and then take some more time off, and then just hopefully like my end goal is I can't quit until like I break a world record.
Yeah, I get that.
And it's because like I know it's within my reach, it's within my capability. It's just for me in the last year and a half I've been hurt so much because I've been rushing it because like I want to break it. I want to break it in the next meet. Yeah. The next meet I want to break it and then I'll be good. But then I hurt myself, then I rush back from rehab to meet prep versus taking an actual off season and then just getting stronger.
And rebuilding basically.
Rebuilding, yeah. So that's what I'm doing now.
That's
taking
good,
that
man.
time.
It's there. I mean, it's coming.
It's there. I know I'm capable of it. And then
you looked good the other day squatting. I mean, you didn't look.
Yeah,
like you
it's
were,
what I'm saying. That was a great day.
Last week, looking like solid,
last week sucked, but also traveling sucks.
Yeah.
So all that flying, it's hard. You guys, I mean, if you guys don't experience it, if you're sitting in an airplane 4, 5, 6 hours, or if there's connections and stuff, and then you get tight, and then you don't drink as much, you don't eat as much, and then the next day or even that day. To try and deadlift or squat heavy is just hard on the body.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then just fitting it in with whatever. Obviously, when you're traveling, you're working and doing all this stuff, so it's just hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, traveling sucks. It's
the one thing that I never knew what was going on with me at first, but then I realized like the traveling, especially for me with my hips.
Yeah.
Sitting, driving, flying all the time. It's rough. You know. And I do try to I'm a little bit better now about taking like a lot of like I think like now I used to not, the first like 30 minutes before I even train now it's like pure stretching.
Yeah.
And like rolling and getting it all kind of going. I used to never do that. You know, I was just like.
Yeah. And then for me now, like when I know I'm going to travel, I have enough enough time knowing that I'm going to travel.
Yeah.
I just know that like that week or those days that I'm gone, I'm just going to have to just temper back my training a little bit or take a day off or whatever.
Right.
It's not like we're just going to get weaker for taking a day off or whatever. So that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, that's something I was just talking to Pitt about yesterday, man. It's just that we were talking about deloads, and everybody's like 3 on, 1 off bullshit.
Yeah.
And then I was fortunate enough to like really kind of be around Ed Cohen and train with Ed and just learn a lot from him. And he was just like, I asked him, when did you take deloads? He's like, when my body told me that it was time to take deloads.
Yeah.
Like when weight that didn't feel heavy felt heavy,
yeah.
time to take a deload.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, and you take a week off? He's like, no. I'll take a couple
days off. Yeah.
And so that's what I've been doing recently is like, I'll just take 2 days off.
Yeah.
I don't go do like accessory work. And I used to go in there and they're like, you want to keep blood flowing, going all this. Yeah. No, because let's be real. We go in there, we're not going to go in there just like curl 15 pounds.
Yeah.
And do shit. So I literally I take 2 days off.
Yeah.
I try to rest. I try to eat, get my food going, and get everything ready. And I feel like my central nervous system really recovers a lot.
I think our CNS is not such a robotic thing. We're like, all right, 3 weeks on, 1 week off. That's what it needs. No, the accumulated stress of work.
Right.
And every day you're gonna have ups and downs of stress.
Yeah.
A phone call here, a website crash here, like that all accumulates. So while your training is very systematic as far as the numbers, your outside stresses are.
Well, and not just that, it's just like these guys, like, oh, man. So I see these people that are like getting trained by like, I don't know, like I do 2 powerlifting meets and he's a coach now.
Yeah.
And he's doing that like 3 weeks on, 1 week. And he does it all the way through their whole entire training. I'm like, you're telling me that you think that their central nervous system is more taxed in the first 4 weeks than the like last 4 weeks going into meet?
Yeah, after 3 months of consecutive
Like,
training.
are
Yeah.
you fucking kidding
Yeah.
me? You know, and it's just like, I don't know, man. I've never like really kind of thought that was even intelligent, you know. And I really, I never thought it was like, I didn't make sense to me. But then when Ed told me how like what he did, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
see, that makes sense.
Yeah. So I think for the people who have lifting longer, like us, we've been lifting for so many years, and we're at a higher level. We can be more, we can more regulate how we feel because we have a better feel for our body. But I think for beginners, they do need more structure, need more advanced notice because they might not necessarily know how to like
Knowing their bodies,
like that, or they might just try and push through it, stuff like that. But yeah, like I said, like you said, just taking a day or two off, like the whole getting blood flow thing. Like, dude, our body is blood is flowing.
Blood's flowing.
We're moving every day. Like,
Right,
it's gonna
right.
work.
You're moving around.
And our body knows how to like recover. We just have to rest.
Rest,
Yeah. But being in the gym, just fucking around, it's still not rest.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, and I was, you know, because I had an event yesterday where I knew I was going to deadlift.
Right.
We all knew.
Your thing, yeah.
And I really wanted to do some crazy shit.
Yeah.
And so, but during this week, you know, coming into that, I know that I had some work to do. Like I needed to deadlift during the week because I didn't know, you know, I actually need to do my work, you know, my training. And so, but me having to do like, you know, business stuff and things, I was like, okay, I'm gonna deadlift on this day, but then after this deadlift, I'm gonna take 2 days off, like straight off, and then I'll deadlift again. It's okay, you know. So I did. I did like a 605 pause rep, like for like a nice good single, probably like an RP 8 or so, you know, and then I could have went heavier, but I just told myself like that's like a good priming for like you know, like my CNS isn't fully fucking taxed, you know, it's beat up a little bit, but I could take 2 days off, and I think I'll go into like Saturday feeling amazing. And I was like, I'm gonna try it, you know, and that's what I did. And you know, I feel like that little workout that I did that day really primed me for Saturday to lift what I did.
But like what you doing that takes years of like lifting to know that you can do that.
Yeah, I just felt it. You know,
you just felt it, and you've deadlifted it enough. I mean, how many times have you deadlifted 500, 600 pounds?
Well,
it's like, you know, in the last 2 years, like all the time. Right. So it's like, for the majority of people, you this is just something you learn with experience, and you just have to do it.
Right.
You can't. You need a program, yes, but you have to. You have to just put in the time, put in the years of training, so that you know what your body likes and doesn't like.
Well, yeah, and I think that like that comes with like what you were saying, like, you know, like you're a coach, right? Like you've been doing this for a really long fucking time, you know. Like you've been doing this longer than me. I've only been doing this like, man, 3 years, maybe 2 years, 3 years now. But you know, you do get these like new guys. Like even me, like I don't even really like coaching people because like I don't. Like I just know there's more elite lifters that can help them better than I can. Yeah. You know, I do get some that are like, yeah, but I just want you for like other reasons than just
definitely
just that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, I get that. You know, but you know, you get these guys that'll just do like 1 or 2 meets and then they're coaching people. Yeah. And they don't even know like things like I'm saying right now about
for sure.
like priming and you know their bodies and knowing when to take it off and how to do it and you know what I mean. So you know, I just hope that people will like when they hear this, they're just like, oh shit. Maybe I need to get like there's you guys are elite for a fucking reason. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like if a bodybuilder wanted to be like Phil Heath, you call Phil Heath. You don't call a guy that's competing and be like, man, one day I want to be like Phil Heath because that guy has never been at that level. You know?
So I've talked about this a lot too. So there's some lifters who want you as a coach or me as a coach because they like us. Yeah. And it's just cool to have us coach them, quote unquote. And then I've always wondered, why do these lifters have coaches that are just brand new or barely lifted, blah, blah, blah. It's because I think they're afraid. Some of them are just afraid to have someone elite coach them because I think they're going to let them down or just too much pressure or they're intimidated. So there's a lot of lifters who just have a coach to have a coach, to say they have a coach and they can post about it, blah, blah, blah. Because if they had you had a coach, like, oh, fuck, now I have to like,
I got to show up.
I got to show up. I got to do it. Otherwise, he's just going to think blah, blah, blah of me. So I think that's why that's the only thing I can think of for the most part why beginning lifters for the same price can get, you know, great coaching from elite lifters, but they're gonna pay Joe Schmo from the gym who's a trainer,
Right.
but doesn't even powerlift or has done one meet or two.
Meets.
You
man,
know?
I know guys right now that are, 275 pound. I know this dude, man. He's out like in my area. The guy weighs 308, right? He's got a good deadlift. But he barely benches over 4, and things like that. And I'm like, dude, he needs coaching. At being 308 pounds, you barely bench over 4. You need fucking coaching.
Yeah.
And as a person like me, I'm like, why would anybody want him to coach him when he can't even figure out how to get himself past like a 415, 420 pound bench at 308? Motherfucker, I'm 220 and I've benched 468.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, dude, and these people, like you said, I don't know if they're just like, maybe they just feel comfortable because Joe Schmo's at the gym. But like me, I just think that people, they need to be like, well, at any point, my whole goal is always to be the fucking best.
Exactly.
So I want the fucking best.
Yeah.
And I've cycled through coaches because I like to cycle through coaches. I like to learn.
Yep.
A lot of people don't know that about me. That's what I'm doing. Like I probably had 3 or 4 different 5 people coach me. It's not that I don't like them. It's that I go through their training.
Yeah.
It's not that I didn't like it. It's
Learn
just that
what
I
you
want to
learn.
see what this person does.
Yeah.
And I want to see what my body does and how my body reacts. And it's not anything bad about him. It's that I went through Chad, Juggernaut training. Great training.
Yeah.
Doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
The amount of squatting that he has people do.
He's a high volume guy.
It blew my hips out because, I compensate a lot. And it just tore me down.
Yeah.
Then I did one who, I'm not going to say her name, but we all know. She used to do West Side Barbell. That was like the very first person ever. And then I did West Side Barbell, and I hate West Side Barbell.
Yeah.
I don't like that style, that conjugate. I do not like it.
Yeah.
I don't like going like 1 rep maxes against bands with chains onto a fucking block.
You spend more time studying the whole
where I'm like, why would I want to sit there and press against bands where I'm gonna at a 1 repper where I'm gonna like blow my fucking shoulder out or something? Like it doesn't make sense, And so I fucking hate it. And I legitimately felt beat up all the time.
Yeah.
Like everything hurt, And so I didn't like it. I think it's great for geared lifters because they lift in gear.
Yeah.
So it's like you got stuff helping you going against stuff that's going against you.
Yeah.
Makes sense, right? And so I didn't like that, And then, then I met Ed, and Ed's whole style, I like Ed's style. Like
it's very simple.
It's very simple.
Yeah.
And I like simple.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's how I am now.
Yeah.
The only thing that I really do right now is like every once in a while I'll add chains on a deadlift, and I do that because I'm slow at the top.
Yeah.
So I'll add chains on deadlift.
Yeah.
But I haven't added chains on a bench press, and I can't tell you how long.
Right.
I'll do some block, mostly for like lockout stuff.
Yeah.
But it's very basic now.
Yeah.
And if you look, some of the best lifters in the world are very basic.
I'm very basic.
Very basic.
Yeah.
Steph Cohen's kind of basic, but she adds a lot of athleticism to her basic lifts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I don't know, man. I think that's just where.
Well,
But
speaking on the basic thing, it's like our sport is 3 lifts, right?
Right. Yeah.
Squat with each other. If you're a basketball player, you're gonna shoot the basketball.
Yeah. Right.
Like you don't need to do. When I see these trainers coaching these basketball players doing like fucking 1 leg on a Bosu ball and with a band, it's like, why? Like, oh, this is gonna train their agility. No, they're just gonna play basketball. Like, keep everything separate. Like strength is strength, basketball is basketball. And then so for us, strength is strength, but like we have to be stronger in these lifts.
Yeah.
The more varied you get away from it, the more you're training other parts that don't correlate to the actual lift.
Yeah, I used to do that.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
No, and I think, there's some, you need some accessories. You need to build other areas about it. But I think there's just people who get obsessed with being different just to be different.
Yeah, I was like, I was at a point where I was like doing a lot of overtraining, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because that's just what I was told to do, And I'd have like 2 big movements, and then I would have a shit ton of fucking like volume accessory work, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just all kinds of shit, man. A lot of dumbbell work and just like a bodybuilding, basically, right? And like, dude, don't get me wrong, I looked great, the body looked good, you know, but now I really I do about 1 to 2 main movements, whether it's like if I do deadlifts, maybe I'll add some block pulls or some deficits in there, drop the weight, get some rep work in and get that in.
Yeah.
Or then I go to about maybe 3 or 4 accessory works, then I'm done.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not fully like pumped and jacked like a bodybuilder when I walk out of there,
Yeah.
but I did what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
And hitting those accessories, obviously we know that stuff's going to help the main 3 lifts that we're doing. But I've noticed now that I'm doing that I've cut back on like that whole like bodybuilding style with it, like power building, I guess, because I do love the whole power building thing. I think power building in the off season is great.
Yeah.
You know, but like if you're trying to like legitimate like get stronger like now, like let's say like, you know, me, I'm trying to like do certain things right now.
Right.
Like this weekend I wanted to hit this.
Yeah.
If I've been power building this whole time, there's no way
It's
I'd
hard,
do that the other day, right?
Yeah.
So I've really cut back because I'm like, to me, I'm like in my own personal like strength phase right now.
Right.
And I know here, you know, in a few, probably like about 4 weeks or so,
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go back in that hypertrophy power building phase.
Yeah.
But because I cut it back, I don't feel as fatigued.
Right.
And I'm getting fucking stronger.
Yeah.
Like I'm right now.
That's what the strength phase is.
Right.
For,
and I've literally probably the strongest I've ever been.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Now cutting back on all the shit, because even when I was going, I would get into like the strength phase. Like there was still all this fucking accessory work.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, I don't know. I just wasn't, I didn't feel like I do now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't, like I said, like there's times I don't feel like as big and full, but fuck, I move the weight a lot easier now than what I ever have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just, I think that some people, like you said, they just kind of like overthink it a little bit.
Yeah, overthink it. I think people need to have like the goal. Like you need to know what your goal is for this training. You know, if your goal is strength, then it needs to your program needs to match that. If you want to bodybuild or power build, then it needs to match that. And if your coach can't tell you what the goal of your program is, then you need a new coach.
Yeah.
Or if they can't explain it to you, or just do it. Or we're gonna get you strong and big and peak at the same time. Like that's not possible.
Right. Yeah.
So I think so. The message here is like if you're a lifter, you should always ask questions of your coach what the program is or what the point is, what the goal is. Or if you don't have a coach, you have to yourself know what your program is for, what's it doing, what's your goal.
Right.
Yeah, and you talked about it. Like I believe, like you do too. Like there's different phases. There's bodybuilding, or where you're just doing higher rep, more volume, more accessories, to build up muscle. Because the bigger the muscle, the more
power and strength that you're gonna be able
the more
to put.
potential.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you can't compete 5-6 times a year.
Yeah.
Like fuck. I mean, if you're a beginner, maybe. If you're not strong, great. But there needs to be times where your focus is more on gaining muscle, and then you can make that muscle stronger, and then you peak.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
That's what I picked up. That's why I chose Chad, because that's what his philosophy was.
Yeah. I love Chad.
Yeah,
I think
for
what
sure.
he does. I mean, let's be real. Chad's a fucking elite. Like he's done it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just for me. It's like
for sure.
Right.
You have
And that's
your
why I want
special
people to tell people. Like,
circumstance.
I want people to be like, when I say that stuff, it's not anything against Chad. It's
No.
it's you have to find who and what works for you.
Exactly.
You know, because like some people like me, there's no fucking way that I could go over and do what Steph Cohen has Pitbull doing.
Dude.
There's no fucking way.
No.
My body mechanics
No.
will not do that. Like I see some of the shit he's doing, I'm like, motherfucker, I can't do that. I think what Steph does is very smart. Like it's very athletic.
Yeah,
and
but there's only certain athletes who can
Right.
manage that.
I can't fucking do that.
No.
And I'll admit that shit.
No,
You
and
know what I mean?
and then with Chad's had people do like 5 sets of 8 on squats. Like there's no 5 sets of 8.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
can't do it. Like 3 and I'm dead.
Yeah.
You know, so like that's where, you know, you have to have coaches who can like individualized programs customized to you. But as a lifter or as a athlete of the coach, you have to give your coach time to adjust to you.
Right.
Like, it takes time to learn you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So like you've gone through these people, but it's not like you did like one program or 1 month and it's done.
Right.
Like over the course of 3 years, you've learned from all these people.
Yeah.
And the advantage of us is that we get to talk to different lifters, different athletes all the time.
Yeah. I mean,
I
I
get feedback.
Right.
Yeah.
Like for me right now, it's kind of like am doing like my own style of training because I know my body.
Yeah.
And I know what works.
Well, also,
And-
no one knows what it's like to have.
And that's what's been hard for me to like. Who the fuck do I ask? You know what I mean? Like I don't really know who to fucking ask. You know, so so I just know like what it is for like an amputee and like my injuries to like go through and like what we have to do and things like that. So for me, like people are like, well, why do you always box squat? I'm like, bitch, because if I free squat all the time, I'm gonna blow some shit out.
Yeah.
And honestly, the other amputees that have been competing in powerlifting now, which is amazing and I love it, that's what happens to them. Their hips are the first things to go.
Yeah.
And so my whole number one goal is like hip health, for me.
Yeah.
Because we're offset. It's just honestly, some days my left hip's higher than my right hip. And some days my right hip, it's just the way my leg's going to sit that day in my prosthetic, you know. My pit was just like, he has that little quad injury, but his knee's fucking, it's making his knee hurt and shit. And what it's doing is the way he's having to stand and walk, his lower back is locking up. Yeah. And he's like, I don't know how you fucking live like this. I said, it fucking sucks. Yeah. It fucking sucks, And you're right. There isn't a lot of people that can sit there and understand, like, there's no elite powerlifter that can right now honestly tell me, like, what it is that I'm going through, because they don't know. So I've been trying to, like, figure it out myself. I have reached out to, like, Steph and them to talk to them possibly about doing some stuff with them, because I would like to see, like, what Steph could come up with to have me do to get me stronger. Yeah. Because she's very intelligent. Yeah. And she's, and her, like, biomechanics, like the body and stuff is very intelligent.
If she taught you, like, 1 or 2 things that you didn't know, it's already worth it.
That's it. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's like, and so, like, I'm curious about it. Like, I'll end up talking to them a little bit more down the road, but, I just like to learn, from somebody like that, So we'll see how it goes, man. So I don't have anything crazy coming up, man. I think I'll do the animal cage in March. Yeah. And then Pro Raw, I'm definitely doing, because I missed it last year. Whether or not I might, like, do, like, a sneaky meet before Pro Raw.
Yeah, we talked about
that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I might do it. You know what I mean? I don't know. We might do it, So we'll see. But, dude, every time before I like to get off this stuff, I like to just ask, like, one question, and just to give, like, some of these listeners something to kind of go off of. But based off, like, what we were talking about here, man, if you were, if there's these new powerlifters that are probably listening to this and stuff like that, like, what is one thing that you could tell a new powerlifter? Like, what was one thing you would tell him or her to do, or how to be, or any type of, like, motivation that you could give them before they, like, decide or even stop? Like, maybe they're not thinking about powerlifting, but they want to do it, but they don't know. But, like, what is one thing you could tell them, like, coming into, like, being a new powerlifter in this industry or in this sport, I guess you could say?
So are you talking about someone who hasn't competed yet?
Like somebody new who wants to powerlift, but they just don't got that, like, that urge to want to. They have the urge, but they don't have that courage, I guess you could say, to, like, do it. Like, for example, yesterday I talked to a young man, and he was just like, I don't know. I just don't think I'm strong enough to get on the platform. And I'm like, motherfucker, are you lifting? Like, are you legitimately powerlifting? Like, you're doing it? He's like, yeah, I train. I'm like, then you fucking need to get on the platform. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, to the person that doesn't, is, like, scared to, like, take that step to jump on the platform, like, what is something that you would tell them?
So number one, there's no minimum total to get on the platform. You can just sign up and get on there. So you've already meet the requirements. Mm-hmm. So there's no not strong enough. Like, it doesn't matter. Number two, none of us were this strong our first meet. None of us were. None. And none of us on our first meet said, I'm going to be the top lifter in the world. Like, this is my goal. I before going to my first meet. Yeah. Like, it just happened. It's a natural progression, So, after my first meet, whatever number I put up, it wasn't like, oh my God, I'm ready to be the best in the world. It was just like, oh, it's pretty good. So don't be like, so like I said, we all started where we started. It wasn't at the top. And then the third thing was, like, you'll always be questioning unless you actually do it. Yeah. You won't know unless you do it. And then I did it because I was curious, and I fucking loved it. So if you hate it, then you just move on. So it's like I said, just do it. You either like it or you don't.
Exactly.
But you
won't know if you like it until you fucking do it.
Exactly. So, like, don't sit there every time you go in the gym and you're lifting, you're doing the movements already. Oh, I don't know if I should do it. Like you're doing it already.
Doing it,
just do it on a meet. That's it. The only difference is that you put on a fucking singlet.
Yeah.
And then there's judging.
Which sucks your first time.
It sucks. The singlet's probably the worst thing about powerlifting. And I don't know anybody that I talked to into competing didn't like it.
Absolutely.
So pretty much it. That's pretty much it.
The adrenaline. I'll never forget the first time I stepped on the platform. And that adrenaline is on. Honestly, every time I step on the platform, it's an adrenaline rush. Yeah. So yeah, man. Well, thanks, Andy. Where can everybody find you at that's listening here?
Okay, Instagram, _huge Asian_guy. I'm gonna have a website. It's actually I guess it's up. It's just not finished, but it's pandapowertraining.com. And I'm going to have, my coaching services. I do seminars. Going to have a few apparel items out. And that's pretty much it on there. And then Facebook, I don't get on Facebook, but it's under Andy Huang. And other than that, that's how you can find me.
Badass, man. Yep. Thanks for coming on the Herbstrong cast, man.
Of course, man.
If you guys are looking for a fucking coach, don't get Joe Smo. Get a guy like Andy here. He just gave you his information to find him. The guy's been doing this a long fucking time. One of the elites around in this world right now. Good fucking job, man, on everything, on your accomplishments, man. It's fucking epic, and good luck on the future of everything that you got coming up, man, and the world record that you will break. It's fucking coming. Goal. Everybody hearing this right now, it's fucking coming. So you guys, again, if you guys need coaching or anything like that, hit up Andy for all your CBD needs, herbstrong.com. And this is That One Leg Monster. You can find me on Instagram at That One Leg Monster, and we are out.